There are plenty of ways to make money online, but none quite like becoming a YouTube celebrity. Making money through YouTube not only means you have a very stable source of large income without putting in that much work, but it also means achieving some measure of actual fame. If you make it big on YouTube, people will recognize you in the street, and it can even end up leading to other opportunities for your business. This is how celebrities are made in the digital age, so why not get involved? Of course, this is not what a YouTube celebrity will actually tell you. They'll say they've got it hard, that making content for YouTube is more difficult than it looks, and Google takes most of their commission. This may be true, but at the end of the day, they're still often making a video a day maximum, and often only a video a week, and they're still making huge amounts of money for talking on camera about something they love. But don't get me wrong, none of this is to say that becoming a YouTube celebrity is a get-rich-quick scheme, not by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, making money on YouTube is not easy at all, and there is a definite skill to this and a fair bit of luck involved too. A lot of people work incredibly hard at their YouTube content for years, never to see any real returns on it. So the question is, how do you go about exploding your content and building an effective business model on YouTube? How can you become the next big YouTube sensation? And what if you don't have a dashing camera smile? This video series is the answer. Here, you're going to learn absolutely everything you need to know to practically guarantee your success on YouTube. You'll learn not only how to build a massive audience in no time at all, but also how to make the most of that audience. You'll see how you can make money from advertisements and from sponsors. You'll discover growth hacking tricks to accelerate your progress, and you'll see how to make an effective YouTube channel without even setting foot in front of the camera. This series is your blueprint for YouTube success, and if you follow it exactly, you'll be giving yourself the very best chance of massive success on the platform. There's an awful lot to take on board here, but the most important thing to always keep in mind is that you're aiming to provide value and to offer something different. You can be smart about the way you do this in order to minimize your work and to maximize your exposure, but the key is to be genuine, to be interesting, and to really work on the quality and production values. It's also important to be consistent and to keep plugging away. Don't expect fame to come overnight, and don't expect your first video to get 1,000 views. This takes a lot of time and dedication, and you need to be consistently and reliably churning out high quality video if you're going to convince people to subscribe and keep coming back. But if you're smart and you're determined, then there's no reason you can't make it with the very best of them, and once the hits start coming, things will start to take off fast. And trust me, it's more than worth it. When creating pretty much any business online, whether it's an affiliate marketing business, a blog, or anything else, the first question you'll often need to ask yourself is, what is it going to be about? Or to use the correct internet business parlance, what is your niche, or niche as some people pronounce it? A niche is a subject that will appeal to a specific audience. An example of a niche would be sewing. Now, sewing is something that appeals largely to older women, but also a lot of younger women these days who are interested in arts and crafts. And of course, some men like sewing too. Let's not stereotype here. Either way, most people are either interested in sewing or they're not. Thus, it has a niche appeal and gives you a specific target audience. You can go even more niche if you like, though, and choose crocheting or bird sewing patterns. But the more niche you go, the more narrow your audience. Another example of a niche is fitness. Now, fitness is a much larger niche because it will appeal to a huge proportion of the population. Nearly everyone will want to get fitter at some point in their lives. It's still a very specific subject matter that will talk to a very specific type of person. but it's a much broader niche. When it comes to internet business, the key often boils down to finding the right niche, and this will often mean finding a niche that has a broad appeal while not being overly competitive. The problem with the health and fitness niche is that you're going to be going up against a huge number of other channels. Some big names in this space include the Hodge twins, Athlean X, bodybuilding.com, Rob Riches, and Elliot Hulse, to name but a few. Many of these channels have been around for years now and have millions of subscribers and huge amounts of money to spend on marketing. That means if you want to go up against them with a video on how to get abs, you might well struggle to get your video to a position where it will actually be seen and clicked on. But on the other hand, a YouTube channel about crocheting cat patterns probably won't get looked for very often and will quickly reach its peak, leaving you with nowhere else to go, and of course a big cap on how much you can possibly earn. So you need to choose the right topic and to find that sweet spot. So how do you find your niche? A good option is to start with the bigger niches and then to focus down and find yourself a smaller sub-niche within the niche. So to start with, let's look at what the very biggest niches are and what the most lucrative ones are. In general internet marketing, the biggest niches are fitness, dating, self-help, and making money. This is because all of these subjects are things which have a hugely broad appeal and which will appeal to practically everyone. If you have the marketing budget, then you can reach the biggest potential audience this way. At the same time, though, these niches are huge because they have something else going for them: value proposition. Each of them has something very big and important to offer people, an emotional hook that makes people more passionate about a channel. So, for example, fitness isn't really just about getting into shape. It's about being more confident, sexier, healthier, and happier thanks to your training and your diet. People hope that by watching these channels, they can turn their lives around. The same goes for money and dating. These offer complete lifestyle changes. They let people find love or get more sex. They allow them to travel around the world and to wear nice watches. They have a real emotional hook, and this means the products sold in advertising can charge a lot more. People are much more willing to pay for a book that will make them $1 billion than they are to pay for a book that can teach them how to sew. But YouTube is a weird place, and when you look around YouTube, you'll find that these regular rules only partly hold true. But there's actually a lot of other highly successful content there that is just plain inane, to be quite frank. Some of the biggest topics on YouTube outside of those big internet marketing favorites are gaming, makeup tutorials, grooming and style, travel, technology, fails, cats, DIY, comedy, and lifestyle vlogs. That's a much more bizarre selection of niches, and if you look around, you'll find thriving subcultures celebrating all kinds of other unusual things. There are some very popular YouTube channels, for example, that show people how to transform new Transformer toys. The thing to understand about YouTube is that it's much more visual than a blog or a social media channel. And this means any subject matter that is more visual in nature and more dynamic is almost sure to be a success. Cat videos provide immediate laughs, while makeup tutorials show women how to look their most beautiful and have the proof that it works right there on the screen. And people enjoy watching inane things like vlogs about the everyday lives of YouTube stars because, well, believe it or not, it almost feels like company. People enjoy watching the YouTube channels of people who are like the coolest friend that they'd love to hang out with. YouTube is such a direct, personal format that it's a great way to create almost a relationship with your audience and to thereby make a big impact on them. This works even better if you can sell the kind of lifestyle they find desirable and thereby allow them to live vicariously. A lot of people watch the lifestyle vlogs of rich, attractive people because they want to live those kinds of lifestyles themselves. And of course, a lot of it is fabricated. Meanwhile, watching someone else play a video game and providing a commentary can be a way to recreate the feeling of hanging out with your mates while playing GoldenEye on the N64 in your youth. And at the same time, you're getting news and footage of new games that you might be interested in. So, how do you bring all these disparate elements together into something that will really work for you? Well, that's a question only you can answer. But a good way to start is to take a broad niche that has a wide appeal and then focus down. For example, you can go with fitness, but find your own way into the industry by making your channel all about fitness for the over 50s. This is a brilliant way to offer something a bit different and a bit unique, and thereby stand out from the crowd while still having that value proposition and universal appeal. Another thing to always remember is to be true to yourself. Choose the niche you're most comfortable with, and you'll find you have much more to say on the matter. You'll come across as much more passionate and interested in your own topic, and you'll be better able to inspire your audience to listen to you. I can't tell you which niche you need to pick, but using all this information, hopefully you can come up with something that will have a big appeal while also being true to who you are. Before you dive into your content creation with both feet, let's rewind for a second and assess exactly what this will involve and what it means to be a YouTuber. How does one go about making money on YouTube, and how much can you expect to make? It's important you understand the business model here, as that is going to affect the way that you approach your content creation and your general approach to making money online. The main way in which you make money on YouTube is via advertising. Google has its own advertising platform, and it uses this to allow companies and brands to pay to show their adverts on your channel. This is a form of AdSense, for those who know what it is, which means it's PPC. In plain English, this means the advertising uses a pay-per-click system, although you can also get paid when you get a certain number of complete views. In other words, you aren't getting paid a flat fee for your advertising or getting paid per month. Rather, you're getting paid each time the advert is shown and each time someone clicks on it. Of course, not everyone who comes to your channel is going to watch the adverts all the way through or is going to click on them. But you can generally assume by pure statistics that you'll get a certain amount, which is called your CTR or click-through rate. And this means that for every 1,000 views on a video, you're likely to get paid a certain amount on average. Now, this isn't very much, and to be honest, you're probably going to need hundreds of thousands of views daily in order to make a decent amount of money, and certainly if you hope to make a full-time living from YouTube. But it can be done, and you can get there, if you're willing to not only work hard, but also work smart. Advertising is just one option, however, and there are actually many more ways you can monetize YouTube if you want to. One great example is just to promote a product of your own and sell that. If you can create an ebook, a clothing line, or anything else, you can promote that using your channel and drive sales. And this will work very well if you can focus on that value proposition and promoting the lifestyle as we've discussed earlier. Don't have a product? Well, no problem. You can promote products other creators have made and earn a commission on the sales. This is called affiliate marketing, and it pairs particularly well with YouTube, seeing as you can be very persuasive when people actually get to see you talking about the product in person, and you can even demonstrate it right on the screen. And finally, you can try and get sponsorship deals. Now, this works very well if you're in a visual medium like fitness, where it's common to get sponsorship from clothes manufacturers, supplement producers, and even companies that make training equipment. You can then demonstrate the products that you're promoting in your videos, and that way you can get a lot of exposure for them. Often these companies will pay per video, while in other cases they might pay a monthly fee, which is up to you to work out with them. Consider these factors and the type of monetization strategy you intend to use at the time that you create your channel idea. Different subjects will make it easier or harder to find sponsors, and generally, a bit of pre planning can go an awfully long way.